Wait,
like
sorry,
she was
repeat
like
that.
she was just real
Uh,
quiet about it, like it was like
Sorry, repeat
undisclosed.
that.
Like
I wasn't listening for the past like 10 seconds.
not good. I said that it was like just it generally just the whole thing just seemed off. It just seemed just different. It just seemed off and weird, right? And
Definitely.
I remember vaguely, like every time I would ask my mom what the frick's going on, she would just kind of be like, act like it was like government information that's highly top secret, you know? Like it was just kind of like
She kind of shrugged it off.
She was like, yeah, Xander's leaving. I was like, okay, why? He's leaving.
I have a feeling she may have not known either, and just like the whole thing was a blur,
And
even
she
for them.
I mean,
They just accepted it.
it was 3 in the morning. My mom was most likely half asleep. So,
Yes. When I wake up, I mean, I was fully awake, so I fully remember like the image. I remember. I think Danny was full
okay,
on
tell me
asleep.
everything you remember.
I remember waking up
Danny
and
was most likely just dead. Danny was probably dead. I don't know what.
yes, I remember he was laid out.
He's a hard sleeper.
So it was you, me, Danny, Daniel Rusher, Xander, and your mom. And I remember waking up, and I think you were still in the bed, but you were awake, like kind of sat up. Your mom, for some reason, I remember
Kind of
like.
sat up like, what the frick is happening?
For some reason, I remember your mom was like standing there, like wearing like white pajama pants, and like I could tell she was like half asleep, like coming out of the bed, and like probably recently come down there. But at the same time, once again, it seemed, as you were saying, like premeditated, like they knew
It
something
seemed
like
like
this.
before Xander left, he was like, "So, mom, if you get a call from me, just don't even think about it. Just come."
Yeah,
You know,
that's what kind of creeps me out. That's sort of what I felt.
like it's almost like Xander was like, what? What if Xander to this day is like not even our friend? Like he came over and like planted some sort of like bomb in our house. It's just waiting for the perfect time to detonate it. Like it's been like 3 or 4 years, and dude's still waiting for the perfect time to just detonate like a freaking IED that he planted in the floor.
But what if also like it was something about us? What if the reason he left is he got like a really weird feeling?
I still thought about that. It was like maybe he got uncomfortable with Danny.
Yeah,
You know
that's
something
true.
that I'm just now thinking about?
Like
I mean,
of course
Xander's
he was a
never
new person, but like
we
I'm
have
fine
hung
with
out
it.
a ton of times, me and you and Xander, and never once, never any other times that I can recall, Xander was like that bad off, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's had his
He
moments
seemed
before.
he seemed pretty good that night, but you could still tell he almost seemed like too happy at one point, or like too feeling it.
He seemed like he was faking it for a while.
You know, we of course that was the night we filmed the Impractical Jokers like voiceover,
Yeah,
and that was an hour or
yeah.
two. And I remember
I'm just now
remember
noticing and kind of
what
thinking about this is you know what could have happened?
what the what might have been.
Listen to me,
I
Danny
was 13.
is bad for sleepwalking. He has come to my house and done a bunch
Oh, no.
of random stuff before, like
You're making this creepy.
he no, and I'm not even kidding either. He is a bad sleepwalker. He's gotten
I
up
heard
in
of
his
that.
old house. When he used to live on my street, he got up one time and walked out on his deck in the middle of the night, sleepwalking.
Didn't you say
Well,
that
anyway,
he like took one of the Lego sets or something and was like
he
messing
picked
with it?
up, yeah, he got up in the middle of the night, picked up a Lego set, and then started ripping it apart, and then like told me to f off when I got in his face.
Ooh.
And he did something else another time.
I mean, that's kind of
Um,
comedical, but or like kind of funny, but a little unsettling.
But like I was wondering, like I wonder if Xander, what if he did that after we went to sleep, and Xander was like creeped out.
Yeah. Who knows? Like, do you think Xander was awake the entire time? Like,
I don't know.
I remember, I swear, like, you know how it takes me a while to fall asleep. So once we finally went to sleep and I could still tell something was odd, I'm pretty sure everyone else was asleep. So, like, if I were to time travel and just go back to that night, I would, like, I would probably, like, my eyes would be open the entire night, like,
Yeah,
fearful.
if I could time
I'd be
travel,
like,
if I had access to a time machine, that'd be one of the things I would do is go back and like just like sit outside the window and wait just to see the whole experience, you know?
I normally don't say this, but like if there was a camera down there, I would really want to check the footage just to see what happened or at what point like
Yeah.
something switched and Xander was like, "I need to go home." I remember we asked about it, but like the morning after, a couple days after when we got to play Fortnite with him, like we
Wait, pause for a second.
We recorded, and he was just like, "Yeah, I had a migraine."
You know one thing?
What?
You know the funniest part about this whole thing?
Funny?
The funniest part about this whole thing is that, it's probably literally just him, like, with a migraine. That's probably the whole thing, is he just got a headache.
Okay.
We've been conspiracy theorizing this whole thing for, like, the past year. And
Come on, it's fun, though. It's fun.
And man had a headache. Like, why did he get this headache? Number 2. Like...
Okay, you totally just, like, broke the ice there. But that was funny.
It could have been something to do with a gut feeling. Maybe just
there was an off chance it could have been not. I feel like no matter what it was, there was a migraine, but maybe there was like something in the off chance. There was something like aside from that too, like that kind of compiled it. So maybe it was something he saw, maybe he felt uncomfortable, or just like. But once you were saying again, like where he called his mom, or he could have like called his mom earlier. Remember, he took my phone, like. He asked for me to use his phone, and he called like his mom like 2 or 3 times throughout the evening and night.
Maybe he like kind of suspected that he would have a migraine, and he was like, "Hey mom, like I may call you if I have a migraine. Just kind of be ready."
Yeah, the be ready part is what gets me, like, because you remember when we woke up, it's like his mom, like. It's almost as if she's used to it. Like, she was just like, all right, I'm going to get you. It's like 3 in the morning,
like
and she's just
fully awake.
She's just going to drive 45 minutes at 3 in the morning. Like, all right, yeah, I'll get you. It seemed like it was...
She was just like it was like, he calls her at 3 in the morning, like, at a time where most people are going to be dead asleep,
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when they wake up, they're not just going to be like, they're going to be like, what? Hey, sorry, hang on. But she was like it was like 3 in the morning, and as soon as he hits the button to even dial her number, she picks up. It's like, hey, Xander, I'll be on my way. Like without it, he'd be like, Mom, I haven't even told you what's up yet. She's like, yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah, that's the other thing. What if like she thought something was going on, but it wasn't the truth, the dirty, the hard truth.
What if he texted her a few hours before and was like, hey, Mom, I think I got a migraine.
And how did your mom know? Like, that's the other thing. That's what really confused me. Like, that's what kind of is the cherry on the top. Like,
well, how did she know to come down?
Like, it was between Xander and Mom. So, when did, like, your mom come into the play? Like, what?
I think I remember him saying something about going up to her room and get...
Yeah. Why did... That seems very out of character. I don't know why, but I didn't expect...
It seems creepy, just seeing Xander walk up there and, like, hover over her and be like, hey, Mrs. Karst.
Yeah, like, imagine if we, like, woke up after, like, once that happened.
Imagine I'm at your house and I just approach your parents just in their room and I'm like, I went to bed.
Well, the thing is, like, my parents are literally on the other side of the wall of my bedroom. Xander had to walk up 3 stories, so, like, it could have been, like, what if we woke up, like, seeing the shadow of him walking up the steps and, like, the steps creaking?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems a little odd, and everything seems a little distant, out of touch. But
everything just seems like a little bit. And
like you said, it seems like a blur. Like you said,
it's
every
all
time.
Very blurry. I feel like that's the only time I've really ever been blurred at a sleepover. Is the only time where we don't need it to be.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, like, and I'm sure there's a whole explanation for the whole thing, but it just every single part of it just was just off. It's kind of gnaws at me. Like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on why.
Me neither. Like, whenever I think of sleepovers at your house, wasn't that the first sleepover all 3 of us had at your house?
I think that was the first sleepover that Xander...
Well, it's definitely the one with Danny. It was the only as well. The first and only, like, sleepover of you, me, like, the trio, and plus Danny. And remember the day that we had, like, I came over, it was for your birthday, remember? And we had that Nerf, the Nerf battle.
Yeah.
We went to, like, the skating rink, your mom, or your parents took us, and we kind of chilled there for, like, an hour or so. And I was, like, filming my GoPro a lot with the Nerf battle and that, and then also we did, like, the Impractical Jokers. But remember, the other part is we have somewhat of the videographic evidence, like, of him, like, being worn down, you remember? And of course you did that video on it in Shea Cola of the most creepiest moments, and it was remember, there was that sudden, like, change in the video. You could tell, like, you could just sense it, like a switch flipped. It was, like, 2 hours later, and I think I remember getting Xander to film those last two scenes where he looked out of it, like, after his mom called and he told us what was going on. So, like, his mom was, like, minutes away from being picked up. I remember, like, we were in the middle of filming, and, like, his mom was, like literally, like, pulling into the house,
That's
I think.
what's weird to me. Is, like, it was weird because it was, like, I just remember waking up, he was on the phone with his mom, and my mom was standing there, and the next thing I know, she's, like, his mom was just there.
Yeah, like, I'm starting to look around me feeling creepy, like, what's going on around me that's causing... Everything seems, like, very, like, nothing in between. Like, one thing happens after another, and there was no details in between. Like, Xander wakes up...
Do you remember anything else? Do you remember anything else from that? Like, honestly.
One thing I don't remember seeing is your dad. I'm pretty sure your dad, like, the whole...
He was...
As
he
usual.
may have already left for work, or he may have just been, like, dead
Mondo
asleep.
tired, yeah. Like, there's a
Mondo.
bombing, and he's just like, oh, leave me alone.
It's like the house. My mom's like, Curtis, the house is on fire, and he's like, yeah, well, just give me 5 minutes.
Dude's gotta take 5 minutes. Let me just take
Where's
it back.
the snooze button on my wife?
But seriously though, like I don't remember anything. I remember being on the furthest side. You know, we had the flip out couch on the bed. These are like the littlest details, but these are the littlest things that I remember for some reason that could be important. But I remember being the furthest one away from everything. Like, I was on the other side where, like, the windows and where currently at least, like, the treadmill and those workout things are. So I was kind of the further away. And then I think Danny was in the middle and you were on the other side. And I can't remember where Xander slept. I think he slept, like, in between me and Danny or you and Danny. But I just remember being on the furthest side. So I didn't have to look two sides. I just looked that way.
I still can't help but feel like it has something to do with Danny. I mean, Danny never liked either of you. You know that, right? He both thought you guys were weird.
I could see that, but like yesterday and today, he's in my class, and he was like, "Sup, Kiger?"
What if he said something to you guys? Like, what if he said something to Xander when we weren't looking?
Or what if he said something while we were half asleep and we don't remember it? So once again, it was like a blur.
What if he like?
Once again, I think after that long day, like I was saying, how active it was.
Wait, Kiger? What if while we were half asleep, like me and you were out, and Danny and Xander are just there, and Danny goes, "I just grew up my parents," and Xander's like, "I need to leave now."
Like he thought like this would be a time to maybe like try to be friends with Xander, so he tries to like start off by saying some like like very random out of bizarre things.
Wait,
like
what if Xander
like
goes, maybe
frog
Xander goes,
something.
"This is my chance to make a new friend," and he goes, "So Danny, how are you?" Danny's like, "Help you." And Xander's like, "Okay, it's time to leave."
Yeah, but in all seriousness, maybe it had something to do with a combination of migraine. Xander told us, like, as himself, it was, like, something to do with a migraine. But everything, once again, seems so out of place. Like, I think we had such the active day, as I said, that everything seemed like a blur.
Oh, yeah,
And,
no.
but, like,
But
like, how did your mom know? How did his mom know?
It did not help that we were very active that day, so that means that we were all, like, dead tired.
This probably doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm trying to remember as much details, though, as I can. But I remember Xander also bringing, like, earlier in the day, he brought that big thing of Twizzlers. I don't know where. And he also brought, I think, hair gel. Because I mentioned something about, like, hey, maybe we could, like, just mess around with, like, our hair or, like, hairstyles or something. Like, I don't know.
I see y'all, like, putting a bunch of gel in my hair while I slept.
No, like, just making the funniest random hairstyles. But he just figured he'd bring it. And then I remember, I think he, like, left, like, either the Twizzlers or the hair gel at your house.
I think you left the Twizzlers. We destroyed those Twizzlers, man.
Do you like Twizzlers?
A lot of those.
Do you like Twizzlers?
Well, they're not bad. They're not why they would
like
not be my first choice for candy, but they're not bad. I'll eat them, I guess, if you give them to me. You know?
Yeah, I like them. They're like bitter gummies, sort of. Anyway.
They're kind of like, I mean, it really has to be in the mood for Twizzlers.
Let's try to, like, get off this topic, though. I mean, it's kind of fun talking about this, but let's try to do a quick recap of what, like, here, tell me your
terrifies me, dude. I'm gonna not sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but tell me in, like, 30 seconds, what do you think exactly, like, went down? Just tell me a really good play-on-play of everything, like, sequentially. Go.
Well, I have a few theories. theories. Can I go over all my theories?
Yeah, go over like 3 or 4, or 2 or 3.
This is gonna take a while. I'm gonna go over
1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Go.
Okay. Number 1, the most likely option is it was just a migraine, and the reason that we don't remember much is because we were going in and out of sleep.
And tired.
In and out of consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as people do at about 3 in the morning after having an entire day full of running and stuff, you know. And theory 2 is that Danny may have said something to Xander, or just generally made him uncomfortable being there, because I guess he wasn't used to being with his friends, right?
Definitely.
So that could be part of it. Or number 3 is that it was pre-planned and Xander just generally just didn't want to be there anymore. He just kind of wanted to be home. Maybe he missed his mom.
Yep. Honestly...
Theory 4.
Oh, you have more?
No, go ahead.
No, I want to hear your theory.
Theory 4
All I was saying is that mine are like basically everything you're saying, so we can agree on this.
Well, yeah, that's
because I can't think of much else. Like, once again, it's so blurred. Anyway, that was fun to talk about, but yeah, it was just a big misunderstanding. You should sometime maybe ask your mom if she remembers anything about it. Has she remembered anything about it?
I don't know.
I mean, it would be a little odd to just be like, hey, remember that time 2.5 years ago? But still, like...
Has it only been 2 years? I thought it would have been like during 4.
No, it was March... It was the night of March 9th, 2019. So, just remember that maybe...
19? I thought it was 18.
No, 2019. March 2019. So, that was pretty fun debunking, but whatever happens, Xander is alive. Oh my gosh.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was fun.